Rita Marley is a Cuban-born Jamaican reggae artist, most popularly known for being Bob Marley's wife and mother to his first 4 children. It is known that her and Bob had open relationships throughout their marriage, although Rita never bore any other man's child. Bob was famous for being publicly promiscuous with multiple women, while Rita dated other men in the shadows quite often. Bob Marley would officially father 11 children from multiple women while being married to Rita. I've always found this strange, as she accepted this treatment without filing for divorce. Was she plotting on Bob, as she was the heir to his royalties, since they were married at the time of his passing? Was she the asset the powers used to remove the king of reggae? As in the game of chess, if you lose your queen, you pretty much lose the game. Was she a scorned woman, who would do anything to get payback for being publicly humiliated? She even went as far as to date the late Peter Tosh, one of Bob's oldest friends. In the words of the late Bunny Wailer, and I quote, "Be perfectly aware that Lord Chris Blackwell, Rita Anderson Marley, and Diane Jobson have been basically and literally involved in several questionable and illegal offences of murder regarding and relating to Robert Nesta Marley OM, Winston Hubert McIntosh, and Robert's mother, Mrs. Malcolm Booker's passing, respectively. First, it was Rita who came to Bunny Wailer's house in Bull Bay in 1974, stating that she had sworn to get Robert, and therefore took the responsibility to put something given to her by Blackwell into Robert Marley's food, which later regarded Marley's passing. It was again Rita who had an intimate discussion, along with Lepo privately at her house, and for approximately 10 hours, planned the action for accommodating Lepo's associates, making the removal of Peter Winston McIntosh eminently possible, which took place at his home that same evening where Peter was removed. Mrs. Booker was then many years later removed in 2010, deliberately by Diane Jobson, who gave to Mrs. Booker the poisonous drug given to Diane E. Jobson by Chris Blackwell that made Mrs. Booker sleep forever. In the same year of Robert Marley's removal, Rita also unalived her own aunt because her aunt Auntie, who was planning to give the house that she was then living in to her nephew Vision, who was with H. the Sulets and the Wailers respectively. It was also later discovered and witnessed surprisingly by the workers and occupants of Tough Gong Records, Ltd. located on Bell Road, where Rita disrespected the musical validity of her own father Brother Roy, forcing him to pass away from the worthlessness created by Rita, that unalived her own father, this kind of evil and wickedness that people such as Rita, Blackwell, and Diane Jobson have done to the members and mother of the Wailers definitely needs to be addressed and will finally be assessed in the court of law. The Wailers, consisting of the late Robert Nesta Marley, Winston Hubert McIntosh, and along with the living legend Neville O'Reilly Livingston, will therefore be involved in the justice, judgment, equity, and penalties relating to the family members of the Wailers respectively. I am therefore also relying upon the legal justice of the courts, incorporating as well the people in the record business of the world, for making positively quite sure that all these people mentioned herein are justifiably judged according to the nature of their evil crimes, cruel actions, and vicious evil ventures of unaliving the members affiliated and related to the Wailers and family member Mrs. Booker mentioned herein. I, Bunny Wailer, I am therefore making quite sure that true and immediate justice is enforced and awarded to whom they are due, with the justifiable judgment related and attached respectively. By Bunny Wailer, Foundation and survivor of the Wailers will therefore not be worried, threatened, or opposed by anyone, including the accused hereof, but is focused on making quite sure that all the presumptuous and guilty persons mentioned herein be aware that I, Bunny Wailer, will be doing all the legal and necessary things that will keep I in the forefront of the whalers futuristically. It is obviously quite certain and correct that Rita was held in the areas of Africa by the authorities there for smuggling diamonds for Chris Blackwell, which the African authorities had revealed. It very much seemed as if Rita and Chris Blackwell were and still are having an affair based on their involvement surrounding these illegal practices, and the transactions carried out between and by them, which could seem very questionable and liable based on the fact that Rita was and is supposed to be the wife of Robert Marley. Thanks for watching the Black Conspiracy channel. Until next time.